Welcome to Module 3. This module is going to run 2 weeks, and the reason for it is there's quite a bit of learning to do in this module, um, but it's also the 4th of July, and I wanted to give you ample time while you still allowing you to have some semblance of a holiday. So I'm going to explain what you're going to do in the modules, and then I'm going to open it, and you will be free to begin. So, Module 3, the first module is right here, and it's the storage unit module. And so we're going to talk a little bit about some of the storage apps that you have available to you that are in the cloud. So you're going to go through, and the ones we're going to look at are Google Drive, OneDrive, Dropbox, iCloud, and Evernote. And so go through and look at all of those. I have subscriptions to all of them. I use 2 of them, 3 of them all the time. My students really enjoy using Google Drive, and that's one of their favorites. OneDrive is becoming more popular, and we're using it with our undergrads in their portfolio. And then at the end of this unit, there is an activity. So we're just going to talk about it on the discussion board and talk about whether you signed up for one or how you see them fitting into your current position. So that is the first unit, and I'm doing these units in EXE Learning. So that will give you some idea of how that looks as I go through these. So that's the first unit. And then there's a collaboration unit, and that's the second unit. Now this is a unit that's going to be a bit of work. It's quite lengthy, but I think you're going to find it very enjoyable. So we're going to look at Google first, and we're going to look at Google for Education. I know some of you went to a workshop and I hope on Google, and I hope that you'll share some of what you learned and put into use what you learned in our discussion forum and in your assignments. And then there is an education website for Google that gives you, these are real quick tutorials on different things you can do with Google. And then we're going to look at Google Docs, Evernote, OneDrive. There's a lot of different things that you can do with those 3 in particular. One of the ones that's becoming very, very popular is Evernote. And I do have a tutorial here on Evernote. I actually don't know Evernote very well. It is what I'm going to work on for the next 2 weeks to learn it better because I want to teach it next fall to my face-to-face cohort. But I do have, this is my website in Google Sites. And I do have some tutorials on how to use Evernote. I'm going to go to it so you can see it. We'll leave that page. I do use Sketch, and I'm going to give you a Sketch lesson in the next module. But Evernote is a little bit different. It does a lot of things, and it's got these notes, and the people that I know that have gone to Evernote seminars and are using Evernote swear by it. They love it. So it may be something that you want to take a look at because it's really nice. You can get the web clipper, and the web clipper will actually take a whole website or a section of a website and drop it into what they call a note. And a note is like a document. And then you can share that note with students so that students aren't all over the web. They're just in that note in looking at that website without actually being in the website. So there's some cool things that you can do with Evernote. So I'm going to have you go through and look at those. And then the first activity is you're going to go through my Pinterest site. I love Pinterest for the mere fact that I can find things quickly. So I have a Google Evernote. There's also OneDrive in there and some of the different things that you can look at. And since I'm going to have to copy and paste because it's not in the main one. So you're going to pick something. Go through here. You can create, which I've read has really good possibilities for K-5, creating a digital checkoff sheet for student learning, and you can walk around and you just create a checkoff sheet. There's lots and lots of different tutorials on Evernote and on Google and ways to use it. Here, how to confer with writers. So if you want to set up a writer's workshop, you can do that with Evernote. Oops. But there, so that's part of the activity. I lost my page. You can also, yeah, I didn't want to do that. Oh, it worked. I just did Google Docs in the classroom. You could even do Evernote in the classroom in Pinterest and come up with some different ideas. I don't expect you to reinvent the wheel, but find something that's going to work for you. And then learn it. Learn how to do that aspect. You're going to save it as last name underscore first name underscore title of what you're teaching everyone how to do. So you can use Google Docs, you can create a handout, a presentation in Google Docs or OneNote or Evernote, and then you're going to share it in our shared folder in Google Docs. Remember, I asked you to sign up for Google Docs, and in our Google Drive folder, in our shared folder, you have Module 3, and here you have the storage lesson, which, yeah, you really don't need. I'm going to get rid of that. Here's your Google Docs, Evernote, and OneDrive, ZZ, Google Drive. So if you double click on that, then you can just drag and drop in your lesson. You might want to copy paste it, because remember I told you in the storage unit I'll explain why you would want to copy paste it. So here's another one, Google Docs. That one's going away because I did the ZZ. So that's where you're going to put it. You're also, and I apologize for this, you're double dipping, but it's kind of just the way tech classes go. So you're going to share it in that save folder. You're also going to put it in Blackboard so that I have a copy of it. So do that, and then put it on our discussion forum. And I'll just make it a discussion forum in Blackboard, and I'll get rid of this in on the Blackboard. So you just put it in the discussion forum so you can share it with us, tell us how you did it, and then we'll get rid of it on the discussion forum. So since I want to edit, since this is EXE, I can just click on this and put it in Blackboard discussion forum. And that's all there is to editing in this once I get what I want. And then I always save it right away because I lost 4 hours of work today. Then you're going to look at Google Forms. So question, you're going to have to come back to this after you get to the other parts. But what was your favorite tool that you learned in this unit? And there's lots of tools. And you probably won't learn them all. You're going to pick and choose what you want. But you can also click here to check the survey, or you can take it here. The great thing about Google Forms is you can create quizzes. And with Flubberoo is an add-on. It was created by the teacher to create self-correcting quizzes and exams. So here's what it looks like. So you're going to go through and you're going to look at how to do Flubberoo. I have a video tutorial here for you on Google Forms, so watch that. And then the activity, you're going to take a lesson that you teach and create a survey, quiz, or test using one of the forms. And you can use Google Forms, you can use OneDrive survey, or Evernote checklist. Upload it to your drive, whichever one you're using. So you're going to upload it to your own drive, not to our shared one. And then you're also going to upload it to Blackboard assignment under Module 3. And then just discuss on it about what you did on the discussion board and share it if you choose. The next thing you can learn about is Google Remote. And this was actually really nice because I used it last week and it was the first time I had used it. So you have to use Chrome, but you download this little app, and then you can go in and you can share someone's desktop so that you can help them if they're stuck. So if you want to practice this, let me know and we'll just set up a time to practice. There's also Google Classroom, and this will tell you about Google Classroom and what some of the benefits are. There's Google Calendar. There's lots of different apps and ways that teachers use Google Calendar. So that might be something you want to look at. Maybe you want to blog. You know, Pinterest, all of these are blogs. I see Blogspot, most of them are. Some of them are still, like Remodelholic is a blog. She's just got her own domain. So Pinterest is full of blogs. Blogs are huge. There's a whole bunch of resources here for blogs, and then there's different types. EduBlogger is a blog for classroom. It's not one that I would use to blog and put on Pinterest. I would use Blogger because EduBlogger's locked down a bit more. Then there's Kids Blog, and that's another one. I have not actually used this, but it looks very interesting. And there's a project. If you want to blog, if you're interested in blogging, now's the time to do it because I can help you with what you get stuck with. I'm pretty good at blogging. So that's a project you can choose for your final project. And then I have a whole bunch of different collaborative tools that you can look at, like Edmodo. Edmodo, you're going to go to our site, create an account, type in this code, and then you can, it's like Facebook. We can have a discussion. And I've seen some really cool things with Edmodo done. So you can just reply. And you can see it's kind of set up like Facebook. So there's a whole bunch of different collaborative tools. And there's some teacher ideas. Some of the things that I found that are quite ingenious, like flashcards, Flippy. And you create these in Google Spreadsheet. And then you can create a flashcard. Or Doctopus is really cool. And then your final project. So you're learning a lot of different things. Do I expect you, I expect you to look at all the tools. And maybe, let's say you don't want to do today's meet. Well, look at it, try it. I have a little test for you to do in it just to see how it works. And then go on, just so that you have some background knowledge of it. So what you're going to do here is you're going to take a unit that you already teach or a group of lessons that you currently teach, and you're going to make them collaborative. So you're going to add collaborative components to them. Do you have to use what's on my list? No. You can, if you have some Web 2.0 tool that you use that works great, use it. Ask me first so that I know about it and I don't get surprised. It's completely open, the assignment. The only stipulation is once you create it, when you upload it to Blackboard, you're going to justify how many points you get. That means that I know that you have put in the time and effort into your learning. So you're going to justify what your score should be. If I have any doubt that you didn't put the time in, I won't hesitate to lower your score and tell you why I don't believe you put the time in. I've been teaching technology for enough years, and I know how long things take. This unit, for example, took me 10 hours to complete, and that does include the 3 hours after I lost some of what I did because I forgot to save it, so I had to redo. But I know how much time it can take to do things with technology. I'll also be looking in that 50 points for some of the mini activities, like Edmodo has one, Today's Meet has one, Lino has one. Not all of them do, but those 3 I know do. So just that you complete those, that just tells me that you did go through them. And then share it on the discussion forum and explain what you did and how you're going to use it. It really is open to what your needs are, and this is where my differentiation comes into play. If you have any questions, please ask me, let me know. I'm more than willing to continue the question answer session that I have going for every module. But enjoy this. You should have a lot of fun with it, and make sure that you are doing things that work for you in your classroom. Don't think about what I want. Think about what works for you. Because if you do what works for you for your lessons, you can justify it without an issue. So, until we talk to you in the discussion forum, have a great week and a wonderful 4th of July.